Alright, so this is the 2015 number 2 question, and it's called guessing game. So let's read through this and then we'll write this one together. So it says, considered a guessing game in which a player tries to guess a hidden word. The hidden word contains only capital letters and has a length known to the player. A guess contains only capital letters and has the same length as the hidden word. After a guess is made, the player is given a hint that is based on a comparison between the hidden word and the guess. Each position in the hint contains a character that corresponds to the letter in the same position in the guess. The following rules determine the characters that appear in the hint. So here's your rules. If the letter in the guess is also in the same position as the hidden word, the corresponding character in the hint, so you have a hint that comes up, and that's the matching letter. If also in the hidden word, so if it's in the hidden word but in a different position, put a star in the hint. And if it's not in the hidden word, put a plus up here, and then a star if it's not in there. So the hidden word class can be used to represent the hidden word in the game. The hidden word is passed to the constructor. The class contains a method getHint. So just by reading this, the hidden word is passed to the constructor, because I think this one says write the complete hidden word class. Okay, so you're going to need to know that there's a constructor, that the hidden word is passed to the constructor. The class contains a method getHint that takes a guess and produces a hint. Okay, so you've got a getHint method that returns. The class contains a method getHint, takes a method and produces a hint. For example, the purpose of the variable puzzle is declared as follows. So this would be like in your main, you pass in harps, that gets passed into the constructor. Okay. The following table shows different guesses. Okay, so you've got these, and this is what it'd be returning. And I'll get to this in a second. We're going to write this out. Write the hidden word class, including any necessary instance variables as constructor and method getHint described above. You may return that length. You may assume that the length of the guess is the same as the length of the hidden word. So whenever you assume something, you don't have to program for it. Okay. Alright, so let's do this. So anyway, all I did was write this stuff up here that we have, and then just kind of talk through. So there's is A and H? Nope. So you wouldn't put up, so this is what the hint will return right here. I should spell that right. So, but is there an A somewhere in harps? Yes. So you do a plus. You have an A there because A and A is an A. You have an A here, which is somewhere in here, so you do a plus symbol. And for the rest of them, so you'd want to do plus symbols, because though they're not in the right spot, there is an A in here. Okay. So hello, that'd be an H. There's no E, so we've got there's no E, there's no L, there's no L, and there's no O. There's an H, there's no E, but there's an A, and there's an R. They're in the wrong spots. Is there a T? Nope. Okay. Harms, you got H is in the right spot, A is in the right spot, R. There's no M, but there is an S. And HARPS. Okay. So that's kind of how you'd come up with it. This really is the table that you're going to use for your if-else statement right here. Close that. So you'd want to do that for your if-else statement. Alright, so I got the first line, public class hidden word. And then you probably want to do your constructor next. Okay. So I've got public hidden word, and that accepted a hint, I believe. So I just say string. Actually, sorry, that's not the hint. That's the actual word for it. So I would just say my word equals word, and then I think they want a private variable, so I just make this private string my word. Okay, so just that alone is going to give you some points. In this document, they've got the canonical, which is how the AP grades. So uses the correct class, constructor, and method header, declares appropriate private instance variables, initializes instance variables within the constructor using the parameter. So I've almost got these 3 points right here. All I need to do is make my method. So if I do public string getHint, and I'm returning my I'm going to return the hint. Okay, so you can do string hint here. Actually, you know what? I always define my variables up here, but if I do this, then I've got to, if I assign it up here, each time I call this, I need to reassign it to blank. So you can just do this right here if you want. I try not to define variables in a method, but remember, each time I'm doing this, I have to redo this, so I might as well just do it right here. That's fine. I could do it there, or I could do it up here, and then I could just say hint equals blank for each time this gets called. It's up to you however you want to do it. But either way, declares private instance variables, initializes hint, declares, initializes, and returns the constructed hint string. So that's this point right here. Now I just need to assign the hint the proper information, okay? So again, with strings, aren't I going one at a time to the very end? So I need a for loop. Okay. And if you get tripped up on this on your AP test, just write out everything you know. Again, a lot of this stuff is pretty easy points. You know, if you screw up and you get this right here, you know, that's 3 points. So 3 out of 9 is much better than a 0, okay? So make sure you write out everything you know. Implements getHint. So accesses all letters in both guess and hint word in the loop. So I need to use a loop, which should be easy for you guys to write. So I have to go from 0 to the end of the length of my word. So I can do for int I equals 0, I is less than my word dot length. Or we could do guess. And remember, I'm sorry, right here, guess was passed in. So remember this, don't forget that. That would have not been good. So guess is passed into getHint, okay? So that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to say string guess, okay? So 0 to the end, and then what, I plus plus, okay? So right here, this right here should give you a minimum of 4 points. So 1 here, these 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Possibly this one for returning the constructed hint, because we declare it and initialize it and then we return it. The only thing is we haven't constructed it yet until these points. This is where like I'm kind of iffy on AP grading. I don't know if this would give me 5 points right here. It might. I'm not a grader. I've never graded AP tests. They may say that you have to actually get the somehow construct the hint first. But either way, we did declare it, we did initialize it, and then we did return the hint string. It's just nothing stored in it. It's just blank. So either way, this right here is going to give you 4 or 5 points, which, in terms of AP grading, 4 or 5 points with how we usually do on multiple choice is actually pretty decent. So this is the hardest part, implementing this, though. So if we're gonna check to see the first part is are these letters equal? Okay, if they are, then we do the hint at that letter equals the guess at that letter. So if guess dot substring at I comma I plus 1. So this would be like the first one. So this is 0, and then the way substrings work, if we do 1, that would be the first. That would be 1 right here, and it might be better if so 0 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3 4, and I'm just putting the indexes of them up there so you can kind of see. Okay. So like for instance this one, remember it's really -1 here, so that gives me the H in my guess of hello. Okay, so does that dot equals, so we got to do dot equals the word dot substring. It's not word, it's my word dot substring I comma I plus 1. If it is equal, then all we do is hint plus equals, and we're building a new string of hint, guess dot substring at I comma I plus 1. So that would just return the letter there. Okay, so right there, boom, there's my hint. It returns H right there. Okay, all right, so that is, now here's another thing. We know that the last one is what? Hint plus equals a star. Okay, so we're close. Now we just need to do the plus symbol, all right? And so let's look at this real quick. Extracts and compares corresponding single letter from the guess and, so we do that. Tests whether the guess occurs in the same position. We did that. Tests whether guess occurs in hidden word but not in the same position. Adds correct character. So we haven't done these last two, okay? So, we're down here. Now we got like 7 of the 9 points. Now we just got to get these last 2, okay? So we'd say else if okay, so now we got to check to see if the letter is somewhere inside here. So like this A isn't in the right spot, but is there an A somewhere inside the word? So this would be the guess, and this would be the word. Okay, so, or like, right here, is this A somewhere in the word? So you need an index of to check that. Okay, so you would say word, sorry, not word, my word dot index of, so then we want the guess dot substring I comma I plus 1. Okay, and if you were to recall, if it's not in there, it would return a -1. Okay, the index of does it basically, it takes whatever character you're looking for and checks to see if it's in the word. If it is, it returns the position. If it doesn't, it returns -1. Okay, so else if it's in there but just not in the right spot, We know this because it doesn't return a -1. And so that's where you would just do hint plus equals a star, and that would build your, that's building your hint through this for loop. And so then we look at the grading criteria. Do we check to see if it's not in the same position? Yes, absolutely. That's right here. And adds correct character exactly once to the hint string. And so we did that. It would hit here, here, here. We add the correct character each time. And it goes through because of my loop goes to the end. So we know it's the correct number of characters. And so that gives us our full 9 points on this thing. Penalties: uses get to access letters from string, consistently uses incorrect name instead of so again, this is stuff where you need to make sure you're using the proper variables, methods, class header, and that kind of stuff. Okay, so also a trick right here: declares appropriate private instance variables. I usually make my variables public, but they're looking for private, so we'll make sure that we write our variables as private variables when we start doing actual AP practice quizzing like this towards the end of the year. So anyway, this video is done.